There's nothing to take. Hologram of Shekinah. Going to look. Glorious Shekinah. Argent Adonis. First father poses in the luminous mummery. With the stature of an ageless stars, fixed and prominent, he appraises the temple, erected in his honor, and cocks his head in approval befitting the memory of his union with the phosphorescence. He clothes his manifestations in Carillion shades, forsaking the viridians and russets of the lowly plants and clay earth. The first microchip? Pardon Stone? What? Statue of a Dagon. Dagon, the ornator, domineers west of apes with brazen pose. His golden cromnent shines splendidly in the fire's shine. Statue of Bel. Belinair. A statue of Bel wears a tremendous weight in polished marble. He wields his epochal aegis, storied for obstructing the swirling glass cloud in the starry dawn. Statue of Nisroch. Nisroch the Star Mason is depicted here straddling the earth with his mighty legs. He dons his favorite sash, whose folds are exquisitely worked in gold. Yeah, I think honestly the best way to describe this game is it's just a vibe. That's all it is. This game is like a vibe in video game format. Here is Shekinah. He is sculpted into prominence with magnificent Carillion marble. His body is chiseled to blessed perfection. His golden diadem crowns him father among fathers. Statue of Carthax. Carthax the athlete, depicted here mid-stride. His glistening silver hair is tied behind his head. In astral tradition, he vaults through the firmament. And a statue of Rusef, who's called the Above, lifts his enigmatic finger to heal the wounds of the sick. I'm actually going to look something up real quick. Just trying to figure out how to read the books that are donated. Some creatures that cannot be tagged with the librarian. Donated books can be read from Shiva's trade screen using the tab options and selecting read. Okay, hold on. I think I have found how to read them. Just have to do it from the trade screen. It's not exactly clear, but you know. Such is life. Read, there you go. Okay, so I can still read them. I just have to select space and then read. So, for $10 in bits or tips, I have to come back here and then I can read one of those books. All right, let's move this way. There's a hat maker. Am I hatless? I am, in fact, not hatless, but what the hat maker has. Do you have any good hats? A crimson hood, an electric an electric snail shell. Also, chat, because, you know, I just got back and whatnot, we're very lurky, and I have to work real hard to keep chat not quiet in this game. So, if you're looking in the chat, could I get a round of beers? If you happen to be listening to the stream. Really wish I could ask you to teach me some food. Hey, Troopman, hope you've been well. I wish I could ask this person to teach me to cook, because that would be so useful. At least I do have some stuff that I can sell. What I really need, though, is I need a few skills in tinkering. That is what I really need. I need a few skill points in tinkering and a few skill points in cooking. Make grenades, but cooking takes the higher priority. I'm mostly auto-exploring to be able to find all of the fancy engraved and etched items. Also, hey, PT Kato. Been a while. Not that long, but long enough. Long enough for me to say it's been a while. Actually, I wonder about something. Nope. Okay. Although I can actually buy some stuff with attribute points because I did level up once. So now I've got meal prep. Carbide chef is one that I want. So now I can cook, or I can preserve foods, actually. So let's preserve some fresh foods. Move up one. Once I know who's here. Ooh, an engraved clay pitcher with 5 rams of honey. Digelexes the First. On the anniversary of the great Battle of Uppa. It's much greater than the Battle of Downa. A healthy child is born to the Sultan of Sheshwar, Tangle. At the moment of her birth, a mirror shattered in every home. And in celebration, people cried out in joy. The babe was named Digelexes, and the people called her the Great Mirror. I feel like every normal human being would consider that a bad omen. Chef's gonna be hired by a restaurant? Oh yeah, absolutely, damn right. Get right on that. Also, the history of somebody named Daridates. In the Battle of Shagazim Steeple, Daridates fought with a mercenary to subjugate mollusks. She wielded a glazed pistol with such prowess that it became forever known as Glaze, the woe of mollusks. Once I'm done running around, we can take a look at what's available in the area, but my bug decided to go get stuck in a prickle bush and get impaled on things and start bleeding everywhere. Good old bug never change. Snail farmer, goat herder, bookbinder. The bookbinder. The bookbinders are great to kill, because they often have pretty decent stuff. I like to look at this. Adorned with decorative marginalia. Illustrations is worth 30% more. Huh. Well, I don't feel like killing you. I'm gonna be a good person today. Does Pythania play this game, Stone? Because I think they'd like it. I think they'd really like this game. It's a gun seller. Actually, gun seller would be helpful, because then I could just buy a second gun. Yeah, you got chrome revolvers, but they're a bit pricey. It's the Grit Gate Recoiler. Bulk Honey Injector. Let's see what we got to trade. I mean, I could just sell all those to get some drams in there. Oh, actually, no, I can just sell them the Electrobow. Perfect. Chrome Revolver. Yeah, I know you play cut sometimes, but I was curious about if Pi plays it. I do think they'd like it. All those. Grab all those. I'll take the extra drams because I'm a little short. I like to stay around 100 drams in my wallet at all times. Oh shit! An engraved clay pitcher and 1 AR Recef, the above, Ghost and Carillion, the coiled lamb of Battles. Died of natural causes. He was 216 years old. Bellinair, thank you very much for the raid. I hope your stream was good. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for Bellinair? Also, Bell, if you're here right now, I want to show you something. Did you know that you're in this game? Kinda, not really. There's a statue of somebody named Bell, which amuses me greatly. But thank you very much for the round of beers for the Raiders. What were you playing today? I had your stream up, but I didn't have a chance to actually look. Feral Hearts and Go Fight Fantastic. Go Fight Fantastic. Go Fight Fantastic sounds like a video game name, and Frail Hearts sounds like a video game name. Were they good? Were they sponsored things? You know what's great is my entire chat knows all the lyrics to the one of the least interesting Corporate Clowny songs. Frail Hearts actually had an interesting story. Might actually play the whole game. I'm gonna go look these up real quick because I'm curious. Frail Hearts. This looks very Undertale. Frail Hearts. An old school JRPG with deep and mysterious storyline placed in a fictional dark city of Gris. Huh. Interesting. Not really a JRPG in your opinion? Yeah. I mean, I tell lots of games they're not roguelikes all the time, so. Therates, the Stained Kin of Dogs, the Indigo Mirror, the Indigo Terror of Nimish, mate of Mashur, died of natural causes. She was 99 years old. So when you were born, you cracked all the mirrors in an entire city, and then when you died, everybody seemed to hate you, and you died of natural causes. Visual novel, JRPG, interesting Steam tag. I don't know what any games are anymore anyway. It's all just a mess. I will classify this game as a cartoonish drug trip. We're currently in the trading area with all the shopkeepers. Seeing what the shops are. I bought a gun. But we're gonna be running around after this. Appropriate? Yeah, I mean, come on. The story is non-linear. You have 4 characters you can play. Use from one of them to play their story. I mean, you know, some people call Citizen Sleeper a JRPG, which I don't understand at all. It's like a tabletop fucking dice game. With no combat. But sounds neat. Curious to hear about it. All right. We've jumped over to the desert. I'm going to whip up a meal right quick. And go back to some... Whoop, I was about to go to some ruins that I discovered earlier that I didn't look at. But we just discovered some. We discovered T-Zod. Some ancient ruins. There seems to be some dudes with rifles over there. So I'm going to shoot my laser eyes at them. That's 1. And that's 2. And I'm finding some more books. Offer still stands. And some leather boots. That's pretty good. We're just auto-explore. Oh, that's a bear. How strong is bear? Average? Oopsies. Bear's injured with lasers. Bear's badly wounded. I'm gonna bop it. And bear dead. Before anybody asks, yes, I already have the achievement for eating an entire bear. But yeah, that's interesting. I like non-linear storytelling. So let's go fight Fantastic then. Laser beats bear. Are we there yet? Well, me and my centipede friend behind me are going on an adventure through some old ruins. We don't really have a destination currently, aside from Golgotha, which I'm not going to yet. So, no, we're not there yet. How are you doing, animal? Hello. Likely to veer. Wait, did that say Earth is a hacksaw? Earth and a hacksaw. How many pages is that? 4 pages. All right, chat. That one's got a neat title. So I'm going to offer a one-time discount, $5 in bits or tips, and I will read Earth and a hacksaw. Because that's such a goofy name. I'm going to bazappy you. Actually, go in my inventory right quick. Now, learn to make thermal grenades. Cometry. What? Oh, you weren't there. Perhaps I've already learned how to make those. Ah. It's a folding metal chair. Well, that's unexciting. Well, it's a 1 to 3 player co-op hack and slash. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, it certainly sounds like a hack and slash based on the name of it. I like how a metal folding chair is considered a trinket. We're going to equip manual. The left missile weapon. The music in this game is phenomenal. There's a sound cloud with all of the music in Caves of Qud. And I keep on begging them loudly to please put this soundtrack on a physical medium so I can give you money for it, but it's not done yet, so. Early access game problems, you know? I'll replace this cell real quick. I Go examine this with psychometry, and so we can learn to make it. Install a cell. Chem cell. It's a chair. The chair is so strange tubes. This is true. The chair is in fact strange tubes. One of my favorite things about my laser eyes is I am a light source because I have laser eyes. And then I use up my light source by shooting the lasers at things, and then as it recharges, I gain my light source back. Do I play MUDs too? I play bat MUDs sometimes, but not on stream. Bellinair in chat used to manage a MUD. Long time ago. Well, my bug just leveled up. But no, I generally stick to traditional roguelikes. Those are hard enough to stream already. Although I do play some text-based games, but not MUDs specifically. Like Warsim I've streamed a number of times. Pool of unknown liquid. Well, that's gotta be good. This bottle of 2 grams of oil. There's one other door over here. I love just the unknown liquid or undefined liquid. Like, that's always gonna be a good sign, right? Let's toast them. To play the Eternal City, not familiar. Oh, there. Totally lost my character for a second there. All right, well, that seems to be everything for that zone. But I was I heading here? Yes, the lair of the legendary seed-spitting vine. That tends to happen to people, and then they realize how much work it actually is to build a mud, and then they don't actually make a mud. That's generally the experience that I encounter. There was a very brief period of time where me and my community flirted with the idea of making ourselves a mud, and then we just didn't do it. Although the last time I actually played a mud was, not really a mud, but the roguelike celebration, which is the annual, I guess, roguelike professional convention, I guess, hosts their convention in a mud now instead of doing it in person, which is one of the coolest things I think I've ever participated in briefly. Game development is so demanding. Yeah, MUD. Multi-user dungeon. Video games for old people and people who don't see well. Mostly the first one, though. Multi-user domain, multi-user dungeon. I prefer dungeon. But it's like a rogue, but for multiple persons. It's like a rogue, but Zork, but multiplayer. It's like rogue, but it's actually Zork, but it's also an MMO. Also, you can play Zork in my Discord server. Because, you know, Zork is a thing. You know that there's Aussies in your Discord server when people start saying Happy Friday, and it's like it's 3 p.m. on Thursday though. I'm always under drugs, I'll have you know. But rummaging over your surroundings, you find these ingredients: some shale, a crate of thorn, a jilted lover, and a flake of shale. Shale and shale. It's a very shaley soup. Well, I mean, I have Mudlet right there. I don't know if that's a giveaway or anything. Bop. Bop. Ow. Look at how much jilted lovers hurt. Right. You are kind of a problem. Your weekend started 7 hours ago. Any plans for your weekend? My plans for this weekend are stay negative. Because I have to go to the States next weekend. I'd like them to let me into the country. A friend of mine who I was hanging out with on Saturday just tested positive for COVID. But I seem to have dodged it thus far. I'm quite happy about that. Text-based action RPGs? Sure, I like calling them roguelikes, but it's Zork, but it's text-based. It's like roguelikes, but it's Zork, but it's... neither of those things. But it's an MMO. That's the word I was looking for. He's doing just fine. And I tested negative this morning, so I should be good. I haven't seen him since Saturday, so he tested positive on Tuesday, so I think he got it from work on Sunday and I dodged it. That's my theory. Ow! Fucking young ivories. Stupid surprise spikes. They're the worst. So if dark fantasy's your jam, then what's your jelly? Also, hello, pink fluffy llama. How goes your day? Now, I think you mean followed. Because subbing is a different thing on Twitch. But hello. Sci-fi is peanut butter. The bread is good writing. I mean, I hate peanut butter, so that's a bad example for me, but I see where you're coming from. An arrow hit me. Who's shooting arrows at me? Poor soul. Look at that. Sci-fi's hummus, I'm in. Pita bread's good writing. Let's go. Or carrot sticks. Carrot sticks and hummus, kind of S+ tier. Let's toast them. Yeah, my older sister, anaphylactically allergic to peanuts. So the result is I don't like peanut butter very much. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, I feel like you kind of have to have eaten a lot of it in your life to really like it. Because I didn't eat peanut butter until after I was like an adult and moved out. Outside of like in candy, which I don't really count. Because that's more sugar than anything else. Friday, you do 3 hours of home office, go grocery shopping. Saturday, see family, do a boat tour. Sunday, wash clothes, remaining in between sleep, eat, and do nothing. My plan for the weekend is tomorrow, go walk down to local brewery I like and fill up growler with beer. Then come home and maybe record some stuff for YouTube, and then begin drinking the beer. Then Saturday rolls around, and we're recording a podcast Saturday night because schedules are a little silly. Recording a podcast Saturday night, and then going to bed because Arch is going to edit. Then maybe at that point, having some legal cannabis because I'm in Canada. And then Sunday, I'm going to probably record more shit for YouTube. And then Monday, do a short stream for the lovely folks over at Hyperstrange. And then do meal prep for stream week and then stream again. Caves of Cud, more like Blaze and I would not want to play this game high. RGs. Thanks for the second month. I would not want to play this game high. I feel like I would just die. I would only be able to play this game high on Wander. No other difficulty would be doable. I would just immediately die. Way too much thinking and, like, precise vision required to play this game competently. I just got impaled on a spike. Also get beer and play Zero Sievert. Ooh. I might do more Zero. I don't know what to do tonight. I'm kind of like between a few things. It's either more Zero Sievert or more Farthest Frontier. I don't know. Also, by the way, thank you very much for the first resub in 3 hours and also the first notification of money in 3 hours, RGs. Cheers. You're always high when you play it? Yeah, this is a game you kind of want to play sober. Although I guess maybe it depends on the drugs. The only games I can play competently while high are racing games, oddly enough. Got him. Everybody has trouble with mental health. So I don't have an official diagnosis, Hooded Cloak, but my psychologist says that it's highly likely that I'm bipolar, so I can relate to that statement. I have literally every single one of those symptoms. I just haven't gone in and gotten diagnosed formally. But my little sister is borderline bipolar. She has a thing called split personality syndrome, which is essentially just a mild form of being bipolar. And my older sister is extremely bipolar, so one of those that runs in the family. You like to play Euro Truck while drunk? I used to do that. I don't know. It was kind of a lot of work. It's a lot of unnecessary thinking. Was it Barnacles that does those dirt rally while drunk videos? Interferes with your ability to participate in long-term projects specifically? Yeah, I can see that. Although, I like to think it's a negative, or I personally try to avoid using my brain sickness issues as an excuse to not do cool things, though. So if something's cool, I'd rather do the thing, even if, like, maybe I'm not the best person to help with the thing, but it's still cool to help with the thing. Assuming everybody's aware. Ooh, painted fancy crocussins. Digalaxy's the first. Inside the colossal prism. Digalaxy's cemented her friendship with baboons by marrying... Oh my god. By marrying... Oh-oo. Ho-ha-ha-ee-oo. In honor of the ceremony, the baboons bestowed upon Digalaxy's a wedding gift they called Delight's Jewel Baboons Grant. Good thing about mud development is that there's no clock to punch. You know, the only thing I like to do with clocks is punch them. Not because I want to punch in or out. I just want to beat them into a pulp because this construct of time that we live in is so restricting. I'm gonna get those. And a wide-brimmed hat. Not that it's of any use to me. Ooh, ee, ooh, ting, tang, wada, wada, bing, bang. You know that that's a very well-written character in this video game, right? Ting, tang, wada, wada, bing, bang. Classic. My friend, the witch doctor. Running around at the speed of sound. Oh, God. Stupid plant friend or enemy got scared when I came close by and thus locked the door by putting stuff in the way. You are kind of annoying, so I'm going to set you on fire. Set the world on fire. You just cracked my skull! So the null worm that I'm trying to kill cracked the null worm's skull that I'm using as a helmet. You twat! It was my only skull. God dang it. So now it's like useless, which means I might as well remove it. And I'll replace it with a wide-brimmed hat. At least we are cool looking now, I suppose. Why do I have an Uber Nostrum equipped as a thrown weapon? What? Bzz. No, wait, one turn. And I'm gonna toast these nuts. I love how there's just a lit campfire left when I'm done toasting that whole thing. Can't cook with hostiles nearby. All right. We'll kill the hostiles. This might make for a good, like, place to live. Can I make myself some food now? Can I make food now? Nope. Oh, that's the issue. Refuses to speak with me, eh? You're hated by the villagers of Kakoyaka for burning one of their leaders in effigy. Disliked by unshelled reptiles for eating one of their young. Loved by vines. Hated by crabs for releasing snakes into their camps. Well, I'm not going to be nice to you. Don't you kill my lizard. Okay, fine. Well, I could berate the plant, but I don't think that's going to be particularly useful. My reputation, I guess we killed it. Your reputation with vines decreased by 190 to minus 665. We are now despised by vines. My reputation with crabs increased by 190 to now minus 285. The villagers of, I always call them takoyaki. I know that's not what it is. Kakukaya increased by 210. Your reputation with unshelled reptiles increased by 100 to minus 375. Burn, baby, burn. Smack, smack. Pardon me for a moment, you have to evict the spider. Have you tried claiming rent from it? I'm curious if they actually evicted the spider or just let it live or if they crushed it with a paper towel. I always politely remove the spider because I want them in my garden near my veggies and my onions and my kale and my lettuce and all the other various planties that grow on my patio. And they do a very good job protecting them from various things. That's not good. You just kill it. It's your job. At twilight, the shadow of the spindle and the people of the almond porch saw an image on the horizon that looked like a ghost bathed in Carillion. It was Recef. After he came and left almond porch, the people built a monument to him, and there henceforth called him the ghost in Carillion. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, the scariest spiders we get here are wolf spiders, which are about the size of the palm of your hand, but completely fucking harmless. They're just scary looking. But the kind of funny thing about them is they're cave spiders, so they don't spin webs. So they just find a dark place and they wait to pounce on things. They won't pounce on you because you're too big to realize. They don't consider humans to be like a living thing. They think of you as like just a large tree or something. But if a bug walks by them, I've literally like. So my first apartment that I had, which I didn't live in for very long, had silverfish in it, right? And there was this wolf spider that got in and like hid behind one of the desks in that apartment. And my ex, or my now ex, but my girlfriend at the time, was terrified of this thing and refused to go into that corner of the apartment. But every time a silverfish walked by this spider, it literally would vault out, grab it with its two front little feet, and it's bite it with whatever its mouth parts are, its little mandibles, and would just drag it back in like a fucking horror monster and just eat the thing. And it was the funniest thing ever to watch. Just sit there on the sofa and just watch the spider just eat it. And then we got a cat and it ate it, so. But yeah, they're kind of scary looking. I'm not super fond of when they hide behind I'm not super fond of when they hide behind my toilet, though. They do that sometimes. Reminds me of how your mom got upset when she saw a possum in her garden. I mean, possums, yeah, they eat rats. Wolf spiders are awesome. I try and, when they get into my apartment now, because there's never any bugs in this apartment, I try and catch them and put them outside. There's actually one right now living behind one of my pots, which has a bunch of green onions in it. I see it sometimes when I'm watering, like darting around, but it's, as long as they stay outside my apartment, I'm totally fine with them. I'd rather not have them in my apartment, though, because there's nothing for them to eat in here. Yeah, it's kind of funny whenever I'm looking at online dating profiles and they're like, you have to kill the spiders. I'm like, sorry, hon, it's not going to work. No matter how cute you are. No spiders die in this house. Unless they're poisonous, then they can get sniped out of the air with the orbiting missile. But as long as they're not poisonous, yeah, no spiders die. So many of these stupid plants. Glass Balder of Cider with histories from Jalaxes II. In 2943, Jalaxes II, the Scroll in Cyan, the Saratruse Quill, the Cyan Bane of Appa, died of natural causes. He was 109 years old. I mean, there's nothing else of like use to do with online dating platforms aside from like chuckling at weird profiles. You love your spider friends, your daughter hates them. She said that there was one in her bedroom and I told her to keep it. And I told her they keep the other bugs away. And she said I don't have any bugs in my room, and the realization that she had changed her mind, had the realization that she changed her mind about spiders. Yep. Beaded bracelet. Wood wreath. This would be a pretty good camping spot, actually. Storing all my shit down here. I mean, it only works. Dating sites only work if you're like standard, conventionally attractive person with a lot of money and a big vehicle. I'm a skinny white kid that lives alone in a single room apartment that he rents and doesn't own a car. Yeah, good luck. Dating is the least useful things those apps are capable of. All right. Let's just wander around a little bit. I'm finding all kinds of ruins because I've got wayfaring. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. At least I live by myself. I live in a part of town though, which is like to quote my neighbor, living in this part of town is a cock block because it's far away from anything interesting that no young person in their right mind would actually come out here. So like the result is it's like if you do hook up with somebody and they're like, "Yeah, we'll go back to your place," and you tell them where you live and they're like, "How about no?" Which yeah, it's happened twice. It's funny enough. Would I choose caves or Cud? I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. Get him, boy! I'm gonna make a snack over here while you beat that. If you feel like that should have been obvious, yeah, it's the if you want to get tied up and beaten. Site. Just a 10. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. This is like a mandatory block of this stream where we just start complaining about online dating. Happens every single day, or at least a bit. Oh, come on, game. I'm running out of water over here. Give me something. There we go. Yeah, not the kind of relationship I'm seeking, unfortunately. It's one of those, like, that's the icing on the cake and not the initial intent, if that makes any sense. Nothing wrong with some kinks, but it's not the only thing I'm looking for. Zappy this turtle. Oops. A menacing stare at this turtle. Didn't work. Make a blind IRL bingo. Exclamation point bingo, you dingus. We already have one. Burn, turtle, burn. It's a disco internal. Where did this other turtle come? There's so many turtles here. Oh, there's that's why there's so many turtles here. There's a legendary turtle. Disliked by worms, disliked by loved by tortoises, hated by beetles for impersonating one of their leaders. How the fuck do you impersonate a computer? Why is this the first time you hear of this? You never asked. I mean, I can kill this thing. It's just going to take a while. Equipped with small box. Pardon? Something's burning over there. Slightly concerning. I'm gonna try and convince this turtle to join me. Join me, turtle! Hey, this legendary turtle has joined me. Look at that. Sorry, lizard, but we're our previous friend, but we're no longer friend. I just killed my giant centipede friend that I had enslaved for a while. We're going to chat with this tortoise and trade with you. From entropy to hierarchy. Why, thank you. Trade complete. I'll also take your bullets. I don't know why you have bullets. You're going to fall asleep if you don't just go to sleep. Go to bed, Pink. Sleep well, dude. Can I just say that it's wonderful to me that this tortoise has joined me, so thus they're giving me their stuff for free. I kind of don't want to do the water ritual with you. I kind of want to murder you. Although I could probably start a war if I let the right person murder you. It's a very slow-moving friend. I mean, OkCupid keeps a lot of people occupied, so maybe it's a fair thingy. I literally just, like, met this legendary tortoise in the wild and then demanded that they become my friend. Now, my friend tortoise found this other tortoise, and we're fighting this other tortoise. All right. Go back to that campfire. All right, preserve fresh foods. Whip up a meal. Keep exploring. Yeah, I killed the vine, though. Just like Twitter. Could you imagine if Twitter hadn't killed Vine? I mean, like, Vine was just TikTok, but better than TikTok in many ways. We just needed the kids to find it. All right, well, found a few more books. Now me and this turtle are gonna travel for a bit. Look at me and my little army of turtles. I'm gonna go trade these books in. What the fuck is that? Star Kraken? Mechanimist Convert. Inscrutably being. Well, live and drink. Here, take all of these books. I'm gonna read From Entropy to Hierarchy, though. I'll just donate it right now. Hi, Stewie. How's Stewie? Vine was TikTok without the Chinese spying yet. I just got a bunch of XP. Woo! And leveled up. And you swell with inspiration to cook a mouth-watering meal. What do you think of the caves? I like turtles. I mean, I don't like turtles. The turtles like me. The funny thing, though, is if I can get some big beastie to kill that turtle, all of the turtle faction will go against whatever that big beastie's faction was. So I could cause a civil war by making the right person kill that turtle. Like, if I could get a legendary goatman to kill that turtle, for as example, then I could cause all of the turtles in the world to attack the goatmen. Also, I swell with inspiration to name my carbide folding hammer. Chat, what do we name my carbide folding hammer? Just give me your best hammer name. The thing that you would name, if someone handed you a big, heavy warhammer and said, name me, or name it, what would you name it? I like Toidles? Come on, you can do better than that. At least say like Bonky Stick or something. Bjorn? Smashy Steve? That's pretty good. Admiral Smack. It's a trap! Would be the only thing it would be allowed to say whenever you hit something with it. I think Admiral Smackbar wins. I'm sorry. Admiral Smackbar. Maybe Admiral Whackbar. Chat, Whackbar or Smackbar? Face fucker? That's a dildo, sir. The bandhammer? Also pretty good. I don't know. I think Admiral Smackbar is pretty good. Smackbar? Smackbar? It's quite funny. I mean, I laughed. It's a trammer! It's a hammer! Anyway. Admiral Smackbar. Now, chat, what color do we make it? Of course, there's normal colors, but there's some interesting ones, too. Such as, you know, cloning color, or cloudy color, or cryogenic color, or dark fairy color, or eater color, or electrical color, or horned color, or hypertractor color, or icy color, or jungle color, or la color, or where's my favorite one? We're getting there. Psionic color, sparkle color, Ubernostrum color. Oh, there's my favorite one's at the top. B color. Yeah, B color. Camo color? You like Displacer? Which one's Displacer? I like Ghostly. Glotrot's a concern. Not a big fan of that. Kaleidos Slug's also pretty good. B color. I can tell that it's alphabetical. What did I? Desert Camouflage. Oh, that's one. Displacer. I can't even read that one. That's why I went past it, because I didn't see it. No, the colors are structured. So it basically says what materials it's made out of or the properties of it, so you can figure it out at a glance without actually having to read the description. Let's go with Desert Camouflage, because Diamond said camel color. Admiral Smackbar. There you go. It's now Admiral Smackbar. You happy? We smacked the thingy. Would no color be clear? I mean, clear is a color according to Dwarf Fortress, so... Let's wait a little bit. Interesting. Tinkering. I can now inspect her gadgets. Now make you. I can now make Ubernostrum. I can now make Hulk Honey injectors. Can't make those. Can't make those, but I can replace the cell. Go up top. I'm using an ability on everything and learning how to make them. I can now make fidget cells. Install cell. You don't want your gadgets inspected, then don't give them to me. I'm going to remove chem cell and learn how to make that. I'm going to... God dang it. Another revolver rusted. Do, 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 do. I can't even fix it. All right, well, let's go find a tinker so we can fix it. Well, let's just go to you real quick. Right eye don't work at all. Left eye, I see out of severe tunnel vision, and I have floating blind spots. I have coloboma of the retina and the iris in both eyes. It just affects the right eye very severely. On top of that, I also have cataracts. But that's more just a coincidence than anything. I'm gonna give you this. I got bananas? Where the fuck did I get bananas from? Doesn't have the skill to repair items. Well, let's go back to Argvi. Oh, sweet. We found some ruins. Found another lair. We're gonna whip up a meal. Oh, there's a crocodile. What's that? Interesting spot. You like these circular buildings. It turns once. Another book. Yeah, no, generally I'm open to talk about what's up with my eyes. I just don't like it when people are automatically accusatory, which happens rather frequently. I get various strange accusations of people claiming that I'm lying or taking advantage of people and shit like that. As long as it's not that, I don't really care. Or, are you really blind? That's the one that gets me. Let's, where are you? Argvi, go repair my gun, please. Fix it, Felix. Yes, you can. Let's trade. Aaron. Thank you. Grab you and equip it. All right. Where the heck Oh, there it is. That's where we need to go. Bela. But I found more ruins nearby, so we'll stop for the Paratel Quackmore. Which I thought I already found, but what the fuck? This is a weird one. Livid Creeper. Seems like something I'm gonna fireball from a distance. Oh, they explode pretty big. Damn, there's a lot of books up here. This is an interesting spot. Jeez. Old worm. Back up a bit. You're just not a big fan of null worms. I have this habit of like destroying my armor, and it kind of bothers me. I think those walls are made out of something gross. They look fleshy. A lot of books here. Puzzling artifacts. Acid mine. Going to learn to make it and then disarm it. And then I picked it up. Oh shit, not my turtle. I'm sorry, turtle. It's okay, they got it. Per cubic something or another. No. Well, I mean, look at my streams tags. Like, it's not like it's, or look at my username. It's not being insensitive. It's asking a legitimate question. It's all about how the question is asked as to whether or not it's sensitive. You gonna boop into bed? You have a good night, animal? I didn't realize that there was a book just named Golgotha, although it's not a written one. Earth was quicker than those. These are stumbles and habits of the animals in nature. Protected all kinds of the race. Yeah, it's a normal word salad stuff. Holy shit, that's a lot of books. Like, good lord. It's a hell of a spot. You noticed some more ruins nearby. Would you like to investigate? I suppose. Just more generic forgotten ruins. Let's go. Hey, Phineas, how are we? Happy Thursday! Last mainstream day of the week. For anybody who's new here, we stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and it's generally a shit ton of Dwarf Fortress. But I stumble into the realms of traditional roguelikes from time to time. It's an interesting zone. Sun came back up. Go to that campfire. It's an odd one to go to. All right, well, I guess I'm actually going up here, not to Bela, because... for me, it's not about the visual aesthetic. It's about the mechanics and the way the game works. So, yes. I'm gonna keep that one and sell it. It's only 500 XP. I mean, I call, like, Cogmind a traditional roguelike, so yes. gosh. He was joking? I mean, I wasn't. More XP. Whee! Gotta love leveling up twice. How many books have I given you? Holy shit. Alright, well, up to level 14. Share the sun space! Okay. I just wish Cogmine's UI wasn't made for ants. But yes, it is wonderful. What was I gonna do? Right, yeah, I was gonna go sell this book. Let's go to that bookbinder. It's the beekeeper. I go to the bookbinder. I just have an army of turtles following me. When it comes to, I can't believe the amount of work dev put into X game. That's me with, well, this, but also Jupiter Hell. You love how the weapons fire is animated in Cogmind? Yeah. That game is super cool. It's just, its UI is awful. Well, its UI is really well designed. It's awful if you don't see well. What the hell is that over there? I know I discovered it a while ago. It's way over there. Oh, it's Namish. Okay. The work put into Jupiter Hell is insane and will never fully be appreciated, which is really sad. Damn, that Psychic Glimmer. It do be rising. Let's buy another mutation. What, the UI for Cogmind? Long version of that, long response to that is no. I've even tried playing it with a screen magnifier and turning down my resolution. The text is designed for somebody with a very high resolution monitor who plays on a MacBook and who has very good vision. The developer of that game. Not for me using a 34-inch monitor, or sorry, 32-inch monitor with serious visual impairment, right? So it's fun and I can play it, but it requires me craning my neck and moving my monitor closer to my face and squinting. And I have a hard time with dark mode as is, and green text with white background is bad enough. And with the green text with the black background is bad enough as is, but the fact that it's also all of the font options are super thin, the custom font options are bad, and like it's just so designed around specific menu sizing that it's okay. I have enough endless games that I can obsess over. I will occasionally dip into CUD and enjoy it around the edges. I almost beat it once actually, but I've kind of accepted I'm never gonna be good at it. We're gonna take cryokinesis. Rip my Psychic Glimmer. We're gonna be constantly bombarded by intergalactic assaults. Let's actually just jump down here one more time and just quickly go grab a snack at the stone oven. Okay, let's see if I can actually get to Bela now. There we go. Now let's see if the people of Bela like my turtle friends. Okay, I don't seem to mind them so far. I'm just like, I love how I'm just running around picking all of the. Okay, so you know, like when you have a fruit tree, right? And did I just hold on? Hold on. What did I just pick up? Oh, it's a used injector. Okay, I read that as Eater's Nectar. I was like, what the fuck? Why is there Eater's Nectar here? So I'm just like a crazy homeless man that just walks into town, picks all of the fruits and petals off of their flowers, and then picks up their used needles. I'm such a good person. But you know, another game that you could say the amount of work put into that game is insane is Odd Realm. That game's equally insane. Same with Songs of Six. There's so many just crazy works out there that don't get massively appreciated. Kind of a shame, but that's what it is. These turtles are just like, why are we here though? Well, I mean, the games I mentioned were Odd Realm, made by one person in Vancouver. It's kind of a Dwarf Fortress styled town builder. It's pretty cheap. It's cool. Another one that's just one person is not that War Sim, the Realm of Barcelona. This is one person making a text-based, sort of a text-based kingdom simulator. I would say Kingdom Manager, maybe a little bit of Mountain Blade in there. Was like what 90 billion procedural races or something. Literally runs in a terminal. Anyway, this is another crazy achievement. Songs of Six is bonkers for a lot of reasons. This is another town builder. Yeah, this game's getting its credit. This game's certainly getting its credit, considering it's like, what, $30? This game's largely made by one dude, and it's just, he's making his dream game. And he's just like, I don't care what game you guys want, I'm making the game I want. Blah. What else? I'm sure I mentioned another one, but also by Jupiter Hell. This game's very good. Very, very. I know I mentioned one other one, but now I'm like blanking on what it was. Oh, and then you know there's stuff like this that like nobody's played, which is also super cool. This is like the developer really likes roguelikes and really likes Stone Soup, but also really likes Dark Souls. And so just made Dark Souls but a roguelike. It's super cool. It's got like multi-tile bosses and stuff, multi-tile enemies. It's got big attack patterns that you can like dodge around. It's got a stamina bar. Yeah, good stuff. Lost Flame is fantastic. I mean, it's got 100% positive reviews, so it's gotta be pretty good. What are other colossal achievements of video games that I enjoy? I'm not gonna say that Cheese Runner is a colossal achievement because it was made in less than a month. Oh, I mean, like, Tome is a colossal achievement, largely made by one person. You've never heard of most of these? And you're somebody who likes these types of games, too. This is why people need to stop calling games that aren't roguelikes, so that roguelikes can actually rise to the top. Oh, this is another fucking bonkers achievement of a video game. Even though I've never actually played this version of it. It's a Finnish national treasure, that. No, Steam needs to just stop permitting games that are roguelikes to be called roguelikes. It's literally that simple. But, you know. It's hard to be a Titanic in the ocean of ships. Well, I mean, you go to the roguelike category and you get fed fucking Inscription for some reason on Steam. Steam's tagging is terrible and people don't know what a roguelike is, so thus you don't actually get roguelikes in the roguelike category. Steam has a roguelite category, but nobody knows what those are, and the names are too similar between roguelike and roguelite, so thus nobody properly attributes them, and vast majority of the people making roguelites have never played Rogue, so they don't even know what a roguelike is, and thus you get the cycling of endless confusion. And it came across as annoying, so you stopped caring. I care about discoverability for games I like. And the only mechanic most modern roguelites or run-based games take from roguelikes, I literally made a video about this the other day, the only mechanic that they take from them is the act of going on a run and some mild permadeath. It's the only mechanic that they take from them. We don't call first-person shooters Doom clones anymore because they stopped being Doom clones, right? We shouldn't call games that people call roguelikes because they're nothing like Rogue. That mechanic that they take from roguelikes is the act of being run-based. So stop calling them roguelikes. It's a run-based platformer or a run-based whatever the fuck. The problem is the term roguelike happens to have a real good kick to it and has got a lot of really positive marketing behind it. So thus it's a marketing term now, which sucks, which means the actual genre, games like this, games like Jupiter Hell, games like Cogmind, games like Lost Flame just get buried underneath a lot of low-effort tosh, like Vampire Survivors as an example. Like, that game's fun, but it's not a roguelike. So, as somebody who plays these games and actively seeks them out, it is hard for me to find new good ones, even though I know that they exist. I have to specifically follow specific hashtags on Twitter and dig through the Steam library to find them. Yeah, I don't care what roguelike is to you. Okay? What roguelike is to you is a run-based mechanic game. Doesn't matter what it is, right? A roguelike is a game that's like Rogue. I want to play games that are like Rogue. If you want to play a short run-based session game, that's fine. But it's not a roguelike. Do not call it a roguelike. Do not address it as a roguelike. Do not tag it as a roguelike. Do not refer to it as a roguelike. If you're playing a top-down hack and slash like Hades as an example that happens to have run-based mechanics, yes, unfortunately, I'm the guy with the microphone and you're in my stream. Doesn't fucking matter if I'm a tiny minority. People like you push these games under a rug and let them die. All right? At what point will there be pushback if everybody who plays these games just lies down and bleeds out? I like these games. They're accessible to me. I don't like Hades. I don't like Rogue Legacy. I don't care what you're telling me. What I care is that you're wrong. Okay? And what Steam is doing is wrong. And using the term roguelike as a marketing term is wrong. I don't care if I'm a super minority. In fact, if anything, that means I should bitch louder. Sure, play games that are fun. But if you're in my chat, address them accordingly. And if you do otherwise, you're gonna get yelled at. Just how life works. You're instructing me of my industry, and I'm not super thrilled by this. That's fair. You can stop complaining. So if you're not complaining, why are you arguing with me? If you stop complaining, then you go, all right, Hades isn't a roguelike, and move on with the discussion. I just educated you on something. If you don't care, you'd agree with me. Instead, you're pushing back for some reason, which is very strange to me. It's very strange. Anyway, where's the NPC I need to speak with? Warden. Let's go speak with Z Warden. Hello. Let's trade. Or rather not. Leave her be. Let's go speak with Heinrich K. Live and drink, Kindred. I am Heinrich K. Welcome to Bela. It is nearly unprecedented for one such as yourself to pass by our scouts unnoticed. But these are unprecedented circumstances. You were pointing out why it won't change and why it doesn't affect you. It does affect me, and it will change if enough people yell loud enough. And your indifference is fucking frustrating. I have a task for you. Are you interested? Sure. We Hindrin are a close-knit, staid people, and our safety depends on our solidarity. In order to preserve our safety and culture, we ask that many of our number who leave us never come back. We ask that any of our number who leave us never come back. Recently, one such exile took a treasure of our village, a bracelet named Kindrish, with her when she left. None of our number can leave and get it back, or it will be a violation of the values that I have guarded. You don't suppose that I've compiled them into an actual list somewhere? I mean, look at my YouTube channel and scroll down. One such exile took a treasure of our village and a bracelet named Kindrish. With her, when she left, none of our number can... Where was I? Will you help us recover our treasure? We have a small cache of valuables we can offer as a reward. Indifference brings you peace? You continuing to go on about how you don't care makes me think something. I think you really care. But no, I find your indifference frustrating. And your insistence on having the last word pathetic. If you truly didn't care, you would go, man, you've got an interesting point, and then end the discussion. But instead you keep it going, and I really truly wonder why that is. Instead, you keep it going. Hey, Freeways, what's up? What's the hotkey for persons in the village? Backspace. I think it's backspace by default. I don't think I've changed that. Try backspace. All right, I'll find your treasure. Excellent. I will do my best to reward you for your satisfaction. Though her name is Sand in My Mouth now, the exile who stole Kindrish is named Ekshund. She left a few weeks ago and took her sister and brother with her. I'm not upset at you. I'm just amused by the fact that you're... Okay, you know what? How about this? Since you're calling my opinions jaded and negative, I'm going to say goodbye. It was nice talking with you. All right. Kindrish has been handed down. And the cost is the life of her and her siblings. Even if the cost is the life of her and her siblings, Kindrish has been handed down over countless generations, and it belongs to my people, not any individual. Go, Kindred, speak to the warden, Neeland, to find out where Ikshend is hidden. I didn't want it to happen. I was trying to make sure it didn't happen, but there's only so much I can do. Whoops, did I not accept the quest? Yes, go on, yabba dabba. Yes, there we go. Bet Orange is close on his bingo. Remember, the first rule of bingo is don't talk about bingo. Petals in the wind. Must find Ikshend. Well, I mean, there's somebody arguing the exact same points that this person's making in my Discord currently. It just bewilders me. Hey, bald guy. Glad to see some of this game being played. Maybe you'll learn something because you usually just get wrecked. We're in a weird middle of the game spot right now where this village quest is kind of a whodunit thing. Is this the right direction? Oh, right, duh. I'm like skipping steps. Oh, a real life kindred in our village. Live and drink. Lovely friend. If you'd care to trade, I have a modest amount of local goods I can offer. Neeland, not Nickshund. All right. There you go. Warden Neeland. You think someone involved in this quest did it? Probably. It can't be. It simply can't be. Warden Neeland? Ah, yes. My apologies, Kindred. Live and drink. I am Neeland, Warden of Bela. How may I help you? Yes, we were close. I can scarcely believe that she would be capable of doing such a thing. Stealing our greatest treasure? Ickland wouldn't possibly. But if the Grandos says it, it must be so. Do you know where her and her siblings would have gone? Oh, Isk. We had a place, and there's a path to the north that leads to the remains of a lightning-struck tree, made by hollow fire from above. It was the farthest from the village either of us had ever been, until I attained my first warden's moot. She and I would spend time there back then. Perhaps she's there now, but I don't care to check. Sproggy Wood is a roguelike? Sproggy Wood is rogue-ish. It's a weird rogue-adjacent thing. I wouldn't quite call it a roguelike. It's actually a prequel to this game, believe it or not. From a bundle a billion years ago and you never touched it? It's neat. It's certainly a game that you'll find in bundles. I cast a spell of chill on these guys. Be wary of scary cats here. Come on, my friend turtles. I'm gonna walk around that acid skunk. Lots of material to watch. There's a lot of stuff in there, yeah. Let's take you out. That almost killed me. Pretty good way to find some gems as well as look at my interviews list. Bear is winning. But let's see if we can help. Got him. And also, apologies for the rant. I don't really like doing that very much. But people need to realize that there's, like, their opinions don't matter that much when they're watching my stream. And it's kind of a mean thing to say, but I use my stream to push an agenda that I agree with. That's one of the benefits of being the person with the microphone. If your own stream isn't where you can soapbox, where is exactly? And you know what? People can, you know, call things what they want, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna school me on my niche and inform me why the thing that I'm desperately trying to change in this industry can't be changed and won't change for some arbitrary reason that you've set, we're not gonna get along very well. Little Heart, Mayhand, and Action. There was some bonking. Yeah, somebody got bonked. If you missed it, consider yourself lucky. You know, there's a streamer that I really like watching. Yeah, named Excessive Profanity. He's an Australian dude. And his stream rules are kind of amazing. And I basically operate under the same mode, even though I don't have the same rules, which is, I am an opinionated person. If you want to hang out here, keep your opinions to yourself and we'll get along just fine. And I tend to agree. Keep your opinions to yourself and we'll get along just fine. Don't tell me that I'm wrong, and don't tell me that something that I believe is possible to change for the better is not possible to change for the better. That being said, we can absolutely have discussions. But just remember, we might not get along if we disagree. Yeah, same. I fucking drives me nuts. It's like those people who are just like, oh, America will never have privatized healthcare because they don't have it right now. We'll never get rid of their privatized healthcare because they have it right now. It's like, I had to correct my own wording there, but you know what I mean. And that's why we're friends, Orange. I just come to streams to watch and do base commentary and nothing else that causes issues. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, it's absolutely possible to disagree, right? It's absolutely possible to disagree. Just like it's possible to ask me about my disabilities and not get a negative response, but it depends on your wording, right? Like, if you disagree with me and your way of disagreeing with me is telling me that I'm mangy and whiny like somebody did in YouTube comments the other day, you're gonna get a snarky response. Because you're calling me mangy and whiny. You know? You politely disagree? I object! Bruh. People, including you, tend to not let it end at agree to disagree. Well, agree to disagree. Wait, what? Thanks for the 14th month. Welcome back.
You're all great less than 3.
Hell yeah. Less than 3 indeed. Hold there. Who are you? What do you want? I am Uristavid. Heinrich K. sent me. I am justice. Give back what you stole. I am your worst nightmare. Prepared to die. No. Ka? I'm shocked that she even... wow. Words. I'm shocked that she even deigned to speak my name. I'm a pariah now. Beneath the discussion, does she demand remuneration for the scant supplies that I stole? She says that you stole Kindrish, the village's treasure. Is that her angle to claim? I stole Kindrish? Her influence must be waning. The more I even know. What are you saying? What do you imagine I'm saying? The aging, ineffectual leader of a village in isolation. A system that strives to forget anyone who sees outside, no matter how much its inhabitants strive for a better tomorrow. Bela's isolationism provides an ideal pasties for any crime the Heinrich chooses to commit. It can be hard. It sure can be. I mean, I tried to dodge that argument and end it a few times, and they kept referring to me as ranting. And then they drove themselves down to insults, which is why I banned them. It's like, if you're going to just go after me like that and just say that my rant is, and then refer to it as insults, number one, I wasn't really ranting. I was just babbling, because I tend to do that. But at that point, it's like, all right, if your way of ending an argument is by having the last word and then insulting me, yeah, you don't need to be in my chat. If your way of ending an argument is going, okay, that's fine, let's talk about something else, then we're good. That's literally all you need to do. And also, people need to realize that I've probably been paying attention to this industry longer than you. Yeet. Konichi, what's up? Hiya, hobo. How is yous? How thing? How your face? What's up, Ming? Let's just say, Octothorpe Banhammer. Why do you... Now you're making me think of Octothorpe Bunny Crimes. And if anybody knows who that is, you get an artificial internet point from me. Although, we have a hammer in this game that we literally named, Admiral Smackbar. So, you know, I guess that's up there with Octothorpe Banhammer. It's, so Octothorpe Bunny Crimes, TLDR, is the #1 patron for about 24 podcasts that I listen to. It seems like it's not that many. It's more like 5. But there's about 5 different podcasts that I listen to that all came out of Giant Bomb, and they all have Patreon. It's like things, and one of their patron things is like they'll read out the names of their top patrons, and Octothorpe Bunny Crimes is in there, and they always would trip over the name, having a hard time pronouncing it. And then, he eventually changed the name to Octothorpe Bunny Crimes Cinematic Universe, because the cinematic universe of Bunny Crimes are all of these podcasters trying to read the name. So, you know. And then he starts advertising the other podcasts using his username through the other podcasts. It's pretty great. I'm quite amused by it. Yeah, it's kind of a legend. So, like, Tech Pod is one of the podcasts with it, and he changed his name to Octothorpe Tech Pod Crimes for a bit, and then later changed it to Shift F1 Bunny Crimes something or another. Anyway, yeah, it keeps going. It just keeps going. It's very funny. It changes every couple weeks, and they all read it, and they're like, "What the hell is he up to now?" To the point where, like, sometimes, like, all these podcasters, they know each other, right? Every now and again, they'll break the fourth wall and be like, "You know, he was on the other podcast advertising our podcast." Yeah, okay. Where was I? Bela's isolationism provides an ideal pastis for any crime the Heinrich wants to commit. You think Ka stole the treasure? Aye, you kindred are just as thick as the elders. I'd hoped otherwise. Yes, I'm suggesting the old Grand Doe is trying to fool you, and the village as well. I'm not certain that she stole it herself, but an investigation might undermine her authority, and she cannot have that. But if you're heading to bed, Stone, you have a good night, dude. Cheers, mate. What should I do then? The proof is in the petals, Kendrin. You want justice? Find out what really happened. If you find evidence, Warden Neeland will support you. Speak to her. And she is loyal to the Grand Doe, but more loyal to the truth. I will return to the village, and we will sort this out. Heinrich will have to tolerate my presence until my name is cleared. I will live and drink. I mean, Diamond is investing with you. Just fast travel back. It's faster and safer, but yet here I am. Picked up a weird artifact. With it. 2 solar cells? Ooh. And a tattoo gun. Ooh. There's an achievement actually for tattooing yourself. Kitty! The ray cat shies away from me. I can't pet the kitty. Ray cat shies away from... Oh, pet the kitty. Diamond's like, ah, a newbie. Welcome to the strum. Snuck in earlier when you spotted Cut in your discovery list. I find generally people stumble upon this channel when I'm streaming Cud because they follow the directory. The fact that you don't follow the directory is interesting. Cud sneaks in. Cud sticks out. It's disgusting, really. Sneaky cut, a rare gem, yes. Can I also just talk about how much I love the music in this zone? Such a fucking vibe. Oh, so on Twitch, if you go to a game directory, you can follow it by clicking this button. Following the directory, basically, if you go to your following list, you can go to categories. And these are a bunch of games that I follow. And it says how many people are streaming what. You can be like, Caves of Cud! Blind streaming Caves of Cud! Some people just pay attention to the categories that they follow instead of particular like streamers. Like 2 people are playing Jupiter Hell right now. This person. No, I did. The record player is currently off. This is just the game's music and sound. Yeah. Okay, so you came in from recommended algorithms then. Neat. All right, let's speak with the warden. I love how it's so funny to me that, like, you know, I'm just wandering around in this village filled with like deer folk, and I've just got a legendary irritable tortoise that's aggressive following me around, followed by a bunch of other aggressive irritable tortoises. Oh, it's just too funny. They're not the greatest companions, but they're very irritable. What's going on? Hex here in the Grando seems very upset. Please speak to her. All right. Grando, lady. Why is an exile standing in my village? Are you trying to play me for a fool? The pariah claims to be wrongfully accused, and you believe her? She's obviously lying. Are all Kindrens so gullible? There's no proof that she's lying. Fine. Go to the warden then, and solve this mystery. But know this, until a thief is found and Kindrish is recovered, I cannot reward you. You get nothing. Live and drink, friend. Damn right. Soul Shinery. All right. Let's go to the warden. Time to play whodunit. Wait, what? Why is it? Ikshin claims to be wrongfully accused. Oh, but what now? You're the warden. You tell me. You're useless. I'll get to this. You're the warden. You tell me. I don't know. The Grando usually resolves Bela's disputes. I'm to diffuse violence and keep the peace through the threat of it. What do you think? I will investigate and find the truth, or you are useless. I will get to the bottom of this, because you are in fact useless, and I will in fact get to the bottom. All right, so now we talk to every single person, creature thing in this town, and seek out clues. Have you seen or heard anything particular? Live and drink. Sorry, I didn't say anything. Live and drink. Have you heard or seen anything peculiar? Nope. Fondren Villager. Is it true that there are bears covered in quills to the east? Yes, actually. I heard a Hindran talking about buying and selling to a Kindren last night. I thought all Kindren had to report to the Grand Dome. The Fondren heard a voice of a Hindran and a Kendran discussing goods late at night, indicating a recent trade. I'm not totally sure why we're talking about dwarves being grumpy, but... Wait, hold on. Are you saying I'm like Snow White? Except all of the dwarves are grumpy? I'm confused. Who's Snow White in this discussion? Oh, a real live kindred. In our village. Live and drink, lovely friend. If you'd care to trade, I have a modest amount of local goods I can offer. Herberries. Herberries. Do I have enough stuff to sell for an herberry? We have some solar cells and an acid grenade. You know, just some small, just the usual stuff. Herberry is a massively useful healing device. Here, have this lacquered metal folding chair and a bunch of folding chairs. I'm gonna keep the folding chairs. They're not that heavy. Actually, are they? Yeah, they kind of are. Okay, here, I'll give you the folding chairs, this broken toolkit, a used needle, 15 peanuts, and a bundle of hair. No. Quidzo stems? Offer. I have to give them 6 grams of fresh water. That's fine. Thanks for the herberry. I have all I need. Live and drink. Oh, okay. I understand what you mean now. Well, I mean, I have a skill, right? Which is this. Prostalize. Or proselytize? I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Similar to Menacing Stare and Berate, but it cons people into being my friend, essentially. The inventory of this game cracks you up. The main UI looks different than you remember. This is their more modern UI. I mean, I could go swap back to the old UI, but enough people complain that I don't use this one on the regular that I've swapped over to this one. I don't actually like it as much, though. No sudden moves, Hendrich. I'm watching you. I'm Kishin, protector of Heinrich Ka, Grand Doe of Bela. May I ask you some questions? No, you may not. Oh. Very effective. Whodunit I'm doing. What is it? I have questions for you. Why did you leave Bela? Why? Why did I leave a single Parising square piece of land upon which I was expected to live my entire life, forever obeying a woman whose sole qualification of rule is her gender and age? Why did I leave a place where I eat the same damned soup for 9 out of 10 meals, and the height of occupational versatility is leatherworking? The question isn't why I left, it's why I'm the only one who choose to do so. Why am I the only one who choose to do so? Why none of my pleas were convincing to the Hindred I love. If we would just open our borders, we'd never have come to this. It's very busy, but it does pack more information onto the main screen than the old one, and it also covers less of the main screen. I prefer the other one because I find it easier to, like, discern quickly, but I got tired of people complaining, so I just upgraded. Who might have stole Kindrish? The Hydriarch is the most likely suspect in my opinion. She might have kept it for herself or sold it. I've been suspicious of her pet bodyguard, Kishind, for years. I wouldn't put it past him to steal the treasure himself. That said, it might have been an outsider like you, but I doubt any of the villagers had the nerve to steal such a valuable object. But I suppose it's faintly possible. But it wasn't Neeland. You won't find a purer heart in all of Cud than hers. What evidence should I be looking for? Objects out of place? Certainly, Bela produces little and sees almost no violence, so signs of outside world should be easy to find. You may wish to talk to villagers too. My people are starved for entertainment, and gossip travels fast, and we are all notoriously poor liars. You and the warden were close, were you not? Yes, we were close. More than close. If it tore my heart to ragged halves to leave my people, leaving Neeland shredded it to scraps. Heinrich mentioned you have a brother. Where is he? I have no brother. My 2 sisters are all the blood family I claim. Nothing for now. Live and drink. All right. Well, let's look around. Start examining things. Like that. A bloody patch of fur. Is this a patch of hindran fur? There's blood on it. You note that this piece of information down in the gossip and lore section of your journal. Bum, bum, bum. Blood-stained leather armor. Carmine's streaks on Kinshin's armor suggest that he tried and failed to wipe away spoiled blood. You note this piece of information in the gossip and lore section of your journal. Action appears to be favoring a leg, though she has concealed any injury. You note this piece. Though she has concealed any injury. That's a weird way to word that. Note this piece of information in your journal. Turtle! It's just a perfectly normal turtle. Don't mind my turtles. Then there's this person down here that we haven't spoken with just yet. What's this? Leatherworking tools. The set of leatherworking tools is shockingly well made. You note that this piece of information in the gossip and lore of your journal. I don't remember that bit. Something about this game, because I finished this quest line before, there's no way in hell I could ever bring myself to just stab that person to death. Even though it would make this quest line much quicker. This music reminds you of RimWorld? Yeah, it has a similar-ish vibe. But the music in this game goes all over the place. Honestly, the music in RimWorld is the only thing I still really like about that game. Kindred, moment of your time, please. You are Yazurfzadid, yes? You seek to solve this mystery in the village. I am, and how did you know all that? I hoped you would ask. I closely study the works of the great bard, Willow Shakespeare. In particular, I am most fond of the stories of the great plant detective, Hemlock Cones. Though these stories I have learned through these stories, I've learned to hone my perceptive and deductive skill to a fine point. It is my dearest hope that that one day I shall be known as Agonhind, the village bookworm. Not as Agohind the village bookworm, but Agohind the master detective. My grandhind has forbidden me from looking into strange doings in the village, but she said nothing about me teaching you the ins and outs of detective work. What say you? This track, yeah, no, you are. I completely agree. This one track is very reminiscent of RimWorld. It's the slide guitars, I think. This track reminds you of Cud. The Americana is unique on this stream. What? What do you mean? I'm listening. Oh, truly, you won't regret this, Kindred. I promise. So let's get to it. Every mystery hinges on the detection and interpretation of evidence, Hemlock Cones said. Ere the persecution can commence, accusers must obtain some evidence. The solving lies in seeing and locating supporting clues, as well as implicating. So this is basically just the tutorial thing, but we're just gonna blop out of that and examine some more. I mean, I already have my theory, but we're gonna fudge around a little bit. Slide. Harmonicas are like shockingly difficult to play. eat their soup. Oopsies. Didn't mean to leave the map. Abandoned and tucked away in the hut in Bela's outskirts, this enormous statue of a Horsenfell languishes under a layer of withered vegetation. It depicts a majestic deer with one hoof raised from the ground. Its human-like eyes are judging its surroundings and finding them wanting. A metal plaque on the base of the statue hasn't fared well over the centuries, and the only glyphs you can make are K, R, S, and H. Let's check behind here. That blood up there was left there by me. I did that, unfortunately. Actually, let's ask you some questions, lady. Why was Exhind exiled? She exiled herself by leaving Bela. Our codes demand that no Hindran who leaves shall ever return. She knew this, she claims, and she chose to leave. I have further questions. Who is your bodyguard? Kenshin, he's a good boy. He lost his parents a long time ago. He's been like a son to me. Now his axe arm is strong where mine is not, and so he lends it. Is Neeland a good warden? Warden Neeland attends to her duties admirably. She is not terribly assertive, but she does not need to be. I'm surprised she's going along with this outsider-led investigation. She's always had a soft... I'm surprised she's had but she's had a spot... Oh, I see. It's the butt that I missed. But she's always had a soft spot for the exile. Why'd you tell me Exhind had a brother? If you ask the exile, I'm sure she'll spin some kind of accusation. I believe that gender is an immutable prison, that I impose it on others. She's lying. Our people have a long history of two-gender Hindran called Partide, but respected and consecrated. There is a proper path to gender variance in our society of which the male exile could have availed himself of years ago. Alleviated himself. Yeah, there we go. Words. He never did, so I do not recognize him. And that's everything, I think. That's her and her two sisters, and we're going to go talk to you. Ready to accuse the thief. Wander had heard a voice of a Hindran and Kindran discussing goods late at night, indicating a trade. Found a bloody patch of fur, a sign of recent violence. Both are true. Exhind is showing signs of a leg injury, so perhaps she was in a fight. I found a set of foreign leatherworking tools on a village path. A Kindred crafter has been here. Kenshin tried to clean blood off his armor, but missed a spot. Let's go with that one. Oh yes, does this indicate some kind of craft transpired? And was Kindran trying to hide it? That's right. By concealing the trade and craft, it's Kindran who stole Kindrish. Bob? Steve the Smacky. I don't know. I'm bad at naming Cud people. Stone is our good Cud namer. Is Bob a merchant name? I don't know. Bob's a builder name. The evidence is clear. Exhind did not steal Kindrish. In fact, I believe no Hindran was responsible for the theft, but rather one of the Kendrin who premeditated our borders well before the investigator arrived. Any of them could have committed the theft. Exhind helped us cleave to the path of justice. She is free to go, and her name will not be forgotten, but she will remain in exile, just as the leadership of the Heinrich Ka. Long may she live. My job is done here. Live and drink. I always just use the randomly generated ones generally. Your reputation with the Hindran of Bela increased by 200. So the last time I did this, the way I made it end based on my choices, put the exile in charge. I kind of like this one though. But it does not fix the status quo of the village, so it's less interesting, I would say. Village stays screwed. I've taken a telescopic monocle. Let's see if I can go speak to them some more. They all left the map. Yep, they're all leaving. I'm back here. Greedy bastards. See a bear to the east and stop moving. I want to see if I can speak to them one more time. That village sucks, though, to be fair. Oh, that's a gun turret. I'm gonna leave. Sigh, guess not. All right. Note to self: don't move when there's guns around. Whew. That was sketchy. Almost died. So now we go all the way back here. Let me talk to you. Oh, I guess I can't tell you the outcome. Ah, well. Makes me curious as to where they're going to show up next. Well, what do I have in my inventory? Got yuckweed. We got honey. You know what? Let's go. I'm level 14. Let's run over to this campfire, quickly cook up a meal. And we're going to go to that grenade cellar and see how many grenades we can buy. So I think they're up here. Shoemaker, goat herder. We're going to see how many grenades we can purchase. And then we're going to go see if we can do Golgotha. Yeah, I think my preferred outcome for that quest line is you put the exile in charge of the village. I think that's my preferred outcome. Schematics drafter, goat herder, armorer. Armorer. What? A zone I haven't been to yet? That's interesting. I didn't realize I'd missed one. What do you have? Bunch of expensive and weird artifacts, I see. Wow, this dude's got some good gear. Like those crysteel boots. And the flexi vest. Nano weave vest. And the plastifer sneakers. And I'd really like one of those. Just one. Don't actually think I have enough stuff to buy it off of you. Yeah, super dumb. You could use an actual beer? Go get yourself an actual beer then. What's stopping you, dude? Then why are you, What's the word I'm looking for? Making life harder on yourself by venting it out loud. To me, when I want a beer, the worst thing and I know I shouldn't have one, the worst thing I can do is out loud state, man, I should have a beer. Sorry, what? Gutsmonger? You're the grenade seller, then. Grab Tinker level 1. And get a free schematic. Let's go Poison Grenade level 3. Now let's also grab Scavenger, which gives me the active ability Rifle Through Trash. I can rifle through trash and find free shit. Now I can go to this screen and I can make, well, I guess, acid grenades MK1. And now I can make acid. Now I can make those grenades. And let's go disassemble a bunch of parts. Oh, do I not have disassembly? Shit, I don't have disassembly yet. Which means I can't actually make anything. Well, that doesn't fix my problem then. That's the Ichor Merchant. Go to this person, because I can give them more secrets. Yeah, makes sense. I recommend tea. It's not quite the same as a beer, but it's similarly satisfying. Let's equip that. I'm not even sure what it does, but I'll equip it. Well, I could just take like a Mad Lad dash in the general direction of Golgotha. If wanting beer is just the status quo, then it's not a complaint, then it's just the status quo. This is a weird spot. Hey, chat room, we found a box of crayons. You know, you can eat the crayons. I also now know how to make these things. Very quickly, we're going to get to the point of just deconstructing everything that we find. We're just exploring more salt dunes. Also kind of looking for grenades. I'm lost. But I regained my bearings now. There's a turret right there. Going to laze the turret. Killed the turret. I'm gonna go grab those. Fractured microchips, apparently. I'm gonna turn on Force Bubble, and we're gonna get out of there. All right. Found some more ruins. Trying to get a level up. The overworld is, and important locations are partially handcrafted. There are scripted areas. But, so each tile on this overworld is 9 screens, right? Each of those 9 screens is random, right? So the layouts of every single map that I land on is random. Also, this is an interesting location. It's full of very weak enemies, but interesting look to it. Similar to ADOM? Yeah. Which is part of the reason when people ask for games like this, I'm like, well, I mean, ADOM has some similarities. Also finding these now, which are largely... Well, I just pissed off the dragonflies because I just zapped one. Oh, also the horses, apparently. Actually, we pissed off everything. I'm going to... Intimidate. And turn on my force bubble and leave. Bye-bye! I mean, I play CUD in a window, so my CUD looks like this. Let's try this again, but without friendly firing random people. That horsey's mad at me. Yeah, we should just leave. Before I lose my turtles. Before I lose my turtles. That's the sentence I just said. Alright, well, that area's cool, but I don't want to lose my turtles. Alright, let's just go here. We're gonna learn that. I've never had issues with CUD really misbehaving when I tab out. Game is like 2 pixels of not covering the whole stream. You are not wrong. Or if I mistakenly resized it. That should fix it. Thank you. Oh, fuck am I? Oh, I see. I'm not even tapped it. I've resized it by mistake in the past, so it's got to be something to do with it. Is it called Pickup Artist? Is it bloody? It bloody better be. You get it? It might be. Okay, so you lied to me. Feel betrayed. Books. That's what I need. Come on, turtles. A cube that seems to have emerged. Imagine such as myself can. Picking up the chairs while I'm at it. Mostly strange tubes, of course. 69th edition. Nice. Thanks, Sui. Makes me wonder how long it's been that way. I'll bet you it was probably when I went to lunch. Ooh. Shit, I just totally missed what that was. Where was that? Oh, also I'm inspired, apparently. Legendary irritable tortoise is in the way. Well, that's... Come on, you legendary irritable tortoise. Alright. Choose ingredients to cook with. You know, actually, let's wait until we need... Saw something that was painted. What was it? I don't know what it was, but... Because I saw it pop up and I was powering through those menus way too quick. My bad. Alright, well, let's run back up. Oh, hey, more ruins. Well, I appreciate you. What am I seeing? Robot. Pew! Deal with those. Found a burnt capacitor. Watching the game being played sure does improve your mood. Does it really? Slender painted steel dagger. In 6704 BR, Baxies plundered all of the Archinship homestead? The Archinip homestead, looting all of the jewels from the homes of the fish and roots. She became known as the Archinship Pest. The Archinship Pest. Yes, Bongo Cat indeed. We'll take the dagger of the Archinship Pest. Your Mother Baked It is the name of a book that I just picked up. All right, we're gonna keep heading up here. Also found a bunch of water up there. Sure, I will plunder another round of ruins. I'm trying to get one more level up. Cowan 18th. Ah, there's Trukin stuff here. Look at that. Statues of eaters. And spooky zappy bugs. That don't like lasers very much. And a crab. That I'm trying to bonk to death, and it's not going super hot. Help me, turtle. There you go, turtle. What is that? Bizarre contraption. You flush with understanding of the artifact's past and determine it to be a fusion pumping station. You press the power button. You touch the fusion pumping station, recall the passcode, and it beeps whirringly. Fusion pumping station shuts down with a whir. I don't know what that did, but it's something. Interesting. I love how they're no longer strange tubes. Ooh, is that an upgrade? I think I just found, chat, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to upgrade Admiral Smackbar. I found an upgrade for Admiral Smackbar. Also found a rubber gum injector. stops you from bleeding, I think. A shrine to Deridates the Mushur. Deep in the wilds of Namish, Deridates discovered Shushur Cave. There she befriended fungi and built a glass gazebow. Whatever a gazebow is. I don't know what a glass gazebow is, but I would like a glass gazebow. I think my turtles just got trapped in a planty prison. Found another metal. I'm just hoarding all of the metal chairs. Don't mind me. Jack, can I get a round of bongo cats when you hear the big drums? Bizarre contraption. You flush with understanding of the artifact's past and determine it to be a deactivated Betquan moon gate. You press the power button on the deactivated Betquan moon gate. It beeps. It starts up with a hum. Water ribbons the climb of the bone-belched marble columns of high relief. They mount the archivolt. I've never seen any of this before, by the way. They mount the archivolt and snake between the helical rings before a sharp turn towards the keystone. Here becomes there. Contains plumbing and enabling it to function as part of a hydraulic transmission system consuming hydraulic power. Huh. Wonder the fuck that is. Well, there's nothing on the wiki about it. Interesting. I'm scared to touch it. Yeah, it appears that my turtles got stuck in here. Well, ain't that fascinating. Weird artifact. It's a micro-manipulator array. This is stuff for Truekins. You are no aristocrat. Goodbye, Kate. Martin Brower is a trucker delivery company that only delivers to McDonald's. Well, interesting location. We've acquired a bunch more books. Time to go donate these to the library. Select all. It's a lot of books. 15,000 XP. Good lord. Not bad for a day's work, eh? Just chilling up here at level 15 with 69 HP. Let's run to the stone oven. Need a snack. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is OP. Knowledge needs a fucking nerf. All right, let's drop down here. We got an attribute point. Actually, hold up. I need more intelligence to get reverse engineer. So let's plop you into intelligence. Let's grab a point in light manipulation. And another point of light manipulation. Psychic Glimmer Intensify. All right, well. Let's get disassemble. Deploy. And, I mean, I got the points, so might as well take lay and set bomb. Let's go to... Well, actually, let's go to my inventory. And now I got all these fancy icons. These fancy icons are what a particular material is. Now, I only need to do this once. But after this, stuff's just going to automatically get broken down, or I can deconstruct them in my inventory. Like these metal folding chairs. And there's certain items I can set to automatically disassemble. Like this, treat as scrap. What you want. Nice to play some CUD again. The best part is, if I end today without dying, it means I need to play CUD next week. Isn't that kind of a positive thing? Just means if we end and this character's still alive, there will be more CUD. Let's disassemble that disarmed thingy. Admiral Smackbar is 4-9 1d4 or 7 2d2. Okay, so Admiral Smackbar is in fact better. Such a fucking stupid sentence. All right, well, I think we've got pretty much everything we're gonna get. Let's just see how many thermal nades I can make. The answer is not many. Actually, something else I gotta do. Learn how to make bullets. Gutsmonger. Go to you. I think this is the person that I need. I'm going to sell you that. I'm going to trade that for at least one thing. A salve injector. So give me one of those. Sell you one of those. We're basically prepping right now to go to 118 grams now. Let's see what this is. We're basically prepping to go to oh, okay, so you're the one who sells implants. Got it. Never mind, that's not what I lost some money. Oh well. Who's the person that sells grenades then? Yeah, you can tell I play this game too much because I have wish bound to a hotkey, which by the way is the cheating button. Goat herder. Schematics draft. Actually, we could go to the schematics drafter, but not what I need. Yeah, investments are open. Gunsmith, Glover, Pig Farmer. Uh-oh. There is a hostile turtle on this map. Not sure why. It's really fun when this area has like a meltdown of who's friends with who, because quite literally this entire map just explodes. And I've been in this map before when there's been like a meltdown. All right, fuck it. Let's just go do it. We're gonna go to Golgotha. Enough putzing around. Wish us luck, lads. More than a willing spirit. Is the turtle you left behind? No. Different turtle. My turtles are all here. My legendary turtle and my other turtle, the irritable tortoise. All right, so I'm gonna choose ingredients to cook with. We're gonna cook with some honey. And we're gonna cook with I'm sorry, do I not have yuckweed? Oh, for fuck. I do. What? Oh, I see. I didn't preserve it. Duh. Okay. Now we can cook with it. Choose ingredients to cook with. Fermented yuckweed stem and honey. You eat the meal. And it gives me +3 to saves versus disease, +3 saves versus disease. All right. I ate this zone. You've never seen it before? Well, you should hate it too. Also, an evil cat's attacking me. As well as a quillipede. Don't ask what that is. Good lord. It was off to a good start. Right, well, that's that. It's wounded. Let's heal. Looks like an awfully long fall. Are you sure you want to jump into this shaft? I don't think that's the one I want to jump into. I'm pretty sure that one kills me if I jump into it. But these ones I want to go into? Yes, it's these ones. All right. So we're now in Golgotha. Kiddo said she saw a dragon across the road. Oh, really? Dragon. Curious what your kid's definition of a dragon is. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. What, a mailbox? Very small, whatever it is. So you see those vents? Shit's gonna come dumping out of it. Also, chat, I need a big round of beers. For good luck. Ow. That hurt. All right. That's gone through. I'm going to take a salve. Because the electric shocks were a bit much. But we're not dead yet. The soothing tingle fades. Something died. You're gonna leave before the big exciting final boss fight of this particular quest line, Diamond? I'm ashamed. You have a good night, man. Zap you to death. Let's eat a yonder cane. This is going to teleport me yonder. It tastes far away. Oh, that's not where I wanted to end up. All right, well, let's toast then. And teleport other. So far not dead. Let's try and wait until I heal. I'm not sure why the game keeps default targeting my friend here. Bonk you to death. All right, let's move. This is the most terrifying audio design fit attack I've ever seen in a video game. And I enjoy and play horror games. If you want to hate it even more, I could start reading the descriptions of this shit. Like this. It's black ooze. A pool of black liquid. Also, we're going this way. It's safer. Although safer is relative. It's an interesting place for a door. I'm going to sprint. There we go. That's where I wanted to be. All right, it's time to turn on menacing stare. No, not menacing stare. It's time to turn on intimidate, and then turn on force bubble, and then just move through all of this, pushing everything out of the way. So basically I spooked everything away and now I'm running past it. Because I don't actually want to fight anything in here. And I'm trying my damnedest to avoid those electric shocks. We made it through pretty flawlessly. There's a chest up here. Slender musket, an iron buckler, and another box of crayons. Might as well grab the loot since we're here. Trying to get past those things because they'll just stun you. I think we're at the end. Let's see what's next to me. Rather not make things that are technically friendly, not friendly. So let's just pick and choose our targets carefully. Problem is I've used all of my light. There we go, my light's coming back. Because my main source of defense is my light source, which kind of blows actually right now. Let's intimidate. Hey, there's my friend. Oi, okay. We're in the bottom, apparently. So that's the Slog of Cloaca. That's not friendly. That's very, very, very not friendly. I'm going to, I can't sprint while waiting. Okay. What can I do? I can eat some witchwood bark. And I'm dead. Esper dead, actually. It was an Esper build, Alexidus. But because I ran out of light, I walked right... That thing doesn't always spawn right at the door there. I should have eaten the herberry, which would have healed me entirely, but I guess I must have still been stunned. So it just got a free hit. Oh, it just killed me. How much damage did it do to me? Solid run, though. Yeah, that thing, if it gets right next to you and you don't have a way to evade it immediately, you're basically just dead. Yeah, I want to see how much it did. Okay, so it hit us for 11 times 4, which is what put me below. Yeah, so we got stunned. It hit me for 5 times 17. We remained stunned. So we failed the dice roll and remained stunned. Got hit times 4 for 11. Failed the dice roll, remained stunned. Dropped below. This is after I ate. So I ate the witchwood bark, which heals me. We blocked. Then we got stunned. It 5 for 17, remained stunned. 4 for 11, remained stunned. Below 40% health. Times 5 for 16. So, yeah, no, we had no chance. The second it was next to us, we were dead. That's Cud. Fantastic, though. That was a good run. I'm very happy with that one. I'm very happy with that one. That was fun. Obviously, you know,